What is the scariest or creepiest experience that you have ever had in your life? Today, I'm going to share two stories from my own life that show you that maybe, just maybe, the scariest thing in this world is humanity itself. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Night Stalker, they were all real people from this very same universe.
This show is filmed in front of a live Twitch audience.
So, this one day, I was in a really, really bad mental place, and everything in my life had gone wrong. And I went to the mall to buy myself a new phone, and at the mall, I met this guy. He looked just like my grandpa. And the resemblance was so uncanny that he made me feel comfortable in talking with him. He wouldn't leave me alone, and I thought he was listening to me as I was talking about how everything was wrong in my life, how bad things were, that I didn't have a job right now. And this was a long time ago. This was like almost 10 years ago. And he acted like he listened and he cared. And he was like, I can get you a job. Give me a minute. I'm going to get on the phone. And he's on the phone talking to somebody about a job in IT. And I can come work for his company. And the more I spoke with him, the more comfortable he made me feel. And and he had just the right things to say to whatever I was saying to make me feel safe, make me feel secure. And I told him I needed to get some stuff from a security store. And he told me no, but he can get it. He can get it for me. I don't know how I did not pick up on the red flags. I'm not the kind of person that talks to people in the mall if I don't know them. I don't like talking to strangers, but it was the fact that he looked so much like my grandpa. And I'm almost 100% sure he was the doppelganger of my grandpa. You know, the evil twin, because somehow this guy conned me out of giving him 2,000 South African rand. And he said, no, go stop at this store. He's going to get out of the car. He's going to get it for me. And the moment this man got out of my car, I knew I'd been scammed. Because I told him, why don't you drive to the store? Because I don't like driving that much. He insisted that I drive. I should have known something was wrong. Um, and usually I would never talk to someone like that. It was the mere fact of him looking so much like my grandpa. And, moral of the story, don't speak to strangers. But here's where it gets creepy. I went back to the mall I was at, and nowhere on the security footage where I was did his face show. They got me walking through the mall, but he was nowhere on the cameras. They couldn't see his face, so I couldn't go to the police. That was so messed up, but it was also really creepy. A real life doppelganger story. The only thing that did happen was, and why the security believed me, there was one video where he showed up, but basically all you could see was his shoes. It wasn't long after that the story that I'm going to tell you now happened, but this one is by far the creepiest, the spookiest story of my life. If I tell you that I've got goosebumps just thinking about this, I don't like telling this story. So, I had a roommate living with me, and we rented a house. And the landlord was a very strange lady. She was very much into spiritualism and, tarot cards, all of that stuff. And she would always say that there's a portal, like, to the other world on her property. There was always strange sounds at night, but we ignored it. And if I tell you, this roommate of mine did not believe in anything related to ghosts, to spirits, to any of that. He was science, science, science all the way. But me, I've always kind of believed in ghosts and in spirits. I think there's a lot of things that humanity can't explain, but give me the science. There's probably a scientific answer behind something, and if science doesn't debunk it, then unless I've physically experienced it, I don't know. It's kind of like Schrodinger's cat. It might be real, it might not be real, but in this case, it was pretty damn real. So it all started one night when my roommate was home with me. We had gone to my work year-end function. I took him with, and there was free drinks, but I normally can't drink a lot of alcohol. It made me very sick because I'm allergic to a preservative. I'm allergic to preservative in some of these drinks. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm so excited to tell the story and also scared that I'm mumbling. So, we were at my work's year-end function. I had a drink. I got sick immediately. I told my roommate we gotta go home. And we got in the car. We got home. I was sick when I got home. And I immediately went to bed. Lights out, I went to bed. And I wasn't asleep for an hour when my roommate comes into my room and is like, Katie, were you just in the living room, like standing there? And I'm like, no. He's like, did you go into the kitchen? No, I didn't. I was asleep. I'm not feeling very well right now, so I was asleep. And suddenly my dog starts barking like crazy. My dog just barks. And we're both just looking at each other in my room. And I'm like, are you okay? He's like, can you come sit by me for a bit? I went and sat by him. Turns out he saw someone or something move from the living room. He heard them walk into the kitchen. Okay. I sat with him and I fell asleep on the couch there by him. Nothing else happened. 2 weeks later, my roommate went away for the vacation time with his family. Okay. So I was sitting at home all alone. I couldn't sleep that night, and it was scary for some reason. The whole atmosphere in the house felt scary, and so I was just sitting with my dog in my room. We closed my bedroom door because it always felt kind of like you're not alone in that house. And man, I start hearing a sound that is like somebody scratching in my roommate's cupboard. So I know I have to go look. So I turn on all the lights in the house. There's no one. I left the lights on and I go sit back in my room. And it sounds like somebody is shoveling through papers. They're moving around my couch. And there's no one there. I told the landlady about this, and she told me that that house, before it was a house, long before it was built the way it is now, there was an infirmary for war soldiers from, I believe it was the South African War. also known as the Anglo Boer War, but it is today known as the South African War, which is, I'm just giving some background as to what time this was. This was in the 1900s before World War One. So she tells me that one night she was awake when that was still the main house, and she saw a soldier in that very room moving through the cupboards and stuff. Now, do with that with what you want. Believe me, don't believe me. I don't even know if I believe me at times, but that is the scariest thing that I've ever experienced. But to be fair, I would rather take a ghost any day than some scary guy using every manipulative trick in the book to con me out of money.